my name is Preeti Bansal. I am working as an assistant professor in CGC Landra Mohali. Today I am going to discuss about applications of op-amp. As we know that op-amp is having two inputs, in which one is inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal. It can be used for various applications. By using op-amp, we can add, we can subtract, we can integrate the signal, we can differentiate the signal. It means various mathematical operations can be performed by using operational amplifier. The core of this op-amp contains differential amplifier. It means it contains differential amplifier which is having two inputs. So what we can do, we can use two transistors which can be connected together so that we can obtain the output. So there will be four configurations for this differential amplifier. So we are going to start with applications of op-amp. This is the first application of op-amp. We know that since it is having two inputs, it can be used as an inverting amplifier as well as non-inverting amplifier. When we are using this op-amp in terms of inverting configuration, it means we are connecting the input to inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal is grounded. Accordingly, we will be able to get the output. Whenever we are using any of the application of op-amp, it must be operated in closed loop configuration. Closed loop configuration means we are using the feedback resistance from output to input. Then only we can use this op-amp in terms of any of the application of operational amplifier. So if we want to calculate output for this inverting amplifier, in that case output of differential amplifier will be the inverted value of the input. Suppose if we are providing any of the sine wave, then in that case output will be the inverted value of the sine wave. Or if we are providing any DC signal, because we know that op-amp can perform various AC applications as well as DC applications, it means it can operate AC signals as well as DC signal. So in that case, when we are providing 2 volt input to the inverting terminal, the output of this will be minus 2 volt. So the output can be calculated in terms of ratio of minus RF by Rin into Vin. So output is dependent on input signal. So whenever we are providing any input, because we know that op-amp can amplify AC as well as DC signals, so accordingly we will be able to get the output. So this is the first application of op-amp in closed loop configuration. So next application will be non-inverting amplifier. Non-inverting amplifier means we will be providing input to non-inverting terminal. In that case, when we are providing input to non-inverting terminal, the output will be grounded. Same is the case here. So when we are providing input to non-inverting terminal, accordingly we will be able to get the output. So when we are providing input to non-inverting terminal, the output will be in same phase as that of input. So when we are getting the output for this non-inverting configuration, it will be V out is equal to V in 1 plus R2 is again the feedback resistance which we have already provided. Accordingly, we will be able to get, it will be 1 plus R2 by R1. So this is the feedback resistance, because whenever we are performing any of the application of op-amp, either in inverting or non-inverting configuration, in that case V output will be equal to V in 1 plus RF by R1. So this is the second application of op-amp in terms of non-inverting configuration. So we have in all, we know that we have two terminals for op-amp. One is inverting terminal, another one is non-inverting terminal. Accordingly, we will be able to get the output for inverting terminal as well as non-inverting terminal. So next application is op-amp as a buffer. Again, when we are using this op-amp in terms of buffer, it means we are using this in terms of a voltage follower. Voltage follower means again we are providing the feedback from output to input, but in that case the feedback resistance will be shorted and input resistance will be open. So accordingly, output always follows the input. This is one of the application of voltage series feedback amplifier, because we know that in terms of feedback configuration there will be 4. Accordingly, it is one of the application of voltage series feedback amplifier. Accordingly, what we are getting, V out is equal to V in. It means it is used for isolating the loading effect. Yani it can provide a path from high output impedance to low output impedance. So whatever impedance we are providing, accordingly we will be getting the low input impedance. So that's why it always reduces the loading effects and it isolate the loading effects in terms of output and input. So this is the third application of op-amp. Next is fourth application, non-inverting DC amplifier. As we know that op-amp can amplify DC signals as well as AC signals. So it can be used in terms of AC amplifier and it can be used in terms of DC amplifier. Again, if we see this circuit diagram, in this circuit diagram we are using 741 IC. Accordingly, what we are doing, since it is non-inverting configuration, so we are providing input to non-inverting terminal and inverting terminal is again grounded. Accordingly, we will be able to get the output through this sixth pin, that is V out, since it is non-inverting configuration. So this expressions we have already done in the non-inverting application, that is 1 plus RF by R1, that will be equal to V in. And again in this case it is very important to use this offset null that we used to provide between pin number 1 and 5. What is the use or purpose of this your offset null? Offset null means it is used to reduce the output voltage or to nullify the output. Nullify means what we do, we used to make a balance between two inputs, like we are providing input to inverting terminal and non-inverting, that is at pin number 2 and 3. So if we want to maintain the balance between two inputs to null the output, we need to use the offset null. So that's why in this case we are using the offset null, and this offset null can be nullified by using these saturated voltages, plus VCC and minus VE. Yes, what we do in case of these saturated voltages we used to connect a potentiometer between pin number 1 and 5. And if we want to nullify the output, in that case we have to keep the potentiometer, yani the wiper of this pin number saturated voltages to the 0 position, because we know that since it is having total value as 10 kilo ohm, so it will be from 0 to 5, again minus 5 to 5. So here it is minus 5 to 0. When we are keeping this at the center position, it means we are nullifying the output. So by using this non-inverting DC amplifier, it is very much important to nullify the output, then only we will be able to get the stable output. That stable output will be in terms of V naught, that is 1 plus RF by R1 VE. This is the expression which we have already done in the non-inverting DC amplifier configuration. So next is again another application in terms of DC amplifier. Previous application was in terms of AC. This application is in terms of inverting DC amplifier. In case of again inverting DC amplifier, what we are doing? We are providing a feedback, which is very much important, because since we are using the closed loop configuration means there must be feedback between output and input. Accordingly, we are providing input to inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal is grounded. And what is the purpose of using offset minimizing resistor? What we do, we used to take a parallel combination again at another terminal so that we will be able to nullify the output. That's why we always use offset minimizing resistor, so that we will be able to nullify the output. So yeah, it means there will be two type of considerations which can be used to nullify the output. First, we can again connect a potentiometer between pin number 1 and 5 to nullify the output. Second, we can use the offset minimizing resistor. Offset minimizing resistor means we are taking the parallel combination of R1 and RF, which we have already done in inverting terminal. Same connection we can perform at non-inverting terminal, so that we will be able to nullify the output. In this way, inverting DC amplifier works. So what we do, we used to provide a DC input, like it can be 2 volt, 3 volt, something like that. Accordingly, we will be able to get the output. But since we are using the inverting configuration, due to that reason, output will be in the inverted mode. If we are providing 2 volt input, the output will be in terms of minus 2. Again, since it is a closed loop configuration, so the expression will be minus RF by R1 into VI. It means this is the gain of inverting amplifier. We know that gain is defined as ratio of V output by V input, that will be equal to minus RF by R1. So this is the another case of inverting DC amplifier. Next is third configuration is differential DC amplifier. Differential DC amplifier means what we are doing, we are providing input for inverting terminal as well as non-inverting terminal. So here in this case, like in the previous case, we have provided input to only inverting terminal, and for non-inverting configuration we have provided input to non-inverting terminal. But here in this case we are providing input to inverting terminal as well as non-inverting terminal. So when we are providing input to inverting as well as non-inverting terminal, accordingly the output will be in terms of difference between two inputs which we are providing to inverting terminal and non-inverting terminal, because differential means the output is always the difference between two input terminals. Since it is, again, it can be used in closed loop configuration. Closed loop configuration means again we are providing a feedback from output to input. Accordingly, if we want to get the output, it will be minus Rf by R1, V2 minus V1. V2 is the input which we are providing to inverting terminal and V1 is the input which we are providing to non-inverting terminal. So we will be getting output as V0 minus Rf by R1, V2 minus V1. V2 minus V1 means difference between two input voltages. So this is the third configuration of differential DC amplifier. Next is non-inverting. Again, these amplifiers can be used for AC as well as DC. In the same way, there will be non-inverting AC amplifier. In case of non-inverting AC amplifier, we will be providing any AC signal to the given input. That can be a sine wave. Accordingly, we will be getting the inverted value of the sine wave. Okay? If it is non-inverting amplifier, we will be getting the same sine wave, but it will be increased in amplitude, because since we are using this in terms of amplifier, it means we are increasing the signal amplification. So accordingly, the expression already we have used in the previous case, it is 1 plus Rf by R1 into VE. In case of non-inverting AC amplifier, we are also using one capacitance. Why we are using the capacitance? So that we will be able to block the DC signal. Otherwise, there will be, along with AC signal, there will be presence of DC signal which we don't want. Due to that reason, we are using non-inverting AC amplifier. In that case, we are using the capacitance. Again here, to nullify the output, in the previous case we have discussed, that is ROM, we are again using the offset minimizing resistor, which is the parallel combination of R1 and RF. R1 and RF is here, same R1 and RF can be connected here to nullify the output. Yani we need to nullify the output, accordingly we have to use the offset minimizing resistor. The output will be again same, 1 plus RF by R1 into Vin. Next is again inverting AC amplifier. Inverting AC amplifier means we are providing input to inverting terminal and we are grounding the non-inverting terminal. So when we are grounding the non-inverting terminal, accordingly output will be the inverted value. Like suppose if we are providing the cosine or sine wave, the output will be the inverted value of either sine or cosine wave. So V0 is minus Rf by R1 into Vi, because this value already we have discussed in the previous case. This value we have already discussed in the previous case. So accordingly V0 is minus Rf by R1 into Vi. So this is the inverting AC amplifier. It means op-amp can be used to amplify AC signals as well as DC signals. Third case is same, that is differential amplifier, like which we have discussed in the previous case. It means here what we are doing, in terms of differential amplifier we can use op-amp in terms of differentiator also, because we know that op-amp can perform various mathematical operations. It can act as an integrator, it can act as a differentiator, it can be used to add the signals, subtract the signals. So when we are using this op-amp in terms of differentiator, what we are doing, we are providing feedback. This is the ideal circuit for differentiator. We are providing the feedback from output to input. Along with that we are using the capacitance. So when we want to get the V output, that will be the differentiated value of V input. Suppose if we are providing sine input, the output will be cosine, because we know that differentiation of sine wave will be equal to cosine. So accordingly minus means, since we are providing input to inverting terminal, that's why there is a negative sign, the output value will be inverted value, minus RC d V in by dt. It means d by dt represents the differentiation. So whenever we are providing, because we know that the input signal is a function of time period, sine omega t, cosine omega t, these are the function of time period. Accordingly we will be getting dV in by dt. RC represents the time constant. So when we are taking this RC, that will be considered as a time constant, so which is used to amplify the signal. Okay? So we have RC as a time constant which can be used. Next we have differentiator, detail we will discuss later on. Then op amp as an integrator. It means what we are doing, we are integrating the input with respect to the output. So when we are integrating, we have to interchange the position of R and C. Like in the previous case, we have taken feedback in terms of resistance, and at the input we have provided the capacitance. And we know that integration is the opposite operation of differentiation. So we need to interchange R and C. In the previous case, R was here, C was here, but here in case of integrator, we need to take feedback in terms of capacitance and resistance in terms of input. So again we are providing input to inverting terminal. Accordingly we will be getting the output, that is minus again represents the inverting value. Integration of V in dt upon RC. Again RC represents the time constant plus any of the constant of integration, because we know that whenever we used to integrate the input, there must be some constant of integration. So V initial represents the constant of integration. So when we are providing any sine wave, accordingly we know that integration of sine wave will be minus cosine wave. So when we are integrating any of the signal, that will be the integrated value of the input. So in this case, this is the ideal integrator. If we want to generate here practical integrator or practical differentiator, we need to use R along with C, and in case of differentiator, we need to use C, R along with C. So this is the case for ideal, that we will discuss later on.